Sup guys, and I did not make a schedule for this. I best confirm that, meaning I might go over a place with my points, but today we're going to be talking about, is Negan worth it as a character? And in my opinion, it depends. Now, if you're coming at it from a casual perspective, right, let's say you're a big fan of The Walking Dead, or you just want to pick up someone that's new and looks fun, well guess what? I think Negan's the character for you, because this guy just screams charisma. Like, oh my god, like, if there's such a villain that could be redneck and badass at the same time, it'd have to be Negan. Like, he totally runs that shit, and that's what I really like about Negan. It's like, if you've seen this show, and when you play with Negan, you'll truly understand what everything has, what, like, all of his wee references, right? For example, when he hits you with a bat, when he says holy smokes, when he says oh my goodness, when he says you better be joking, all these references literally just bundle up into the character, and it works really well. The same with his stance, the way he walks around. Truly, it works pretty well. When he walks back and forward, he has a lot of swagger. I mean, there's a lot of cool animations there that you can really enjoy if you're a big Negan fan. His intimidation stance, again, has that same swagger, right? So if you're playing from a casual perspective, you go to swagger stance, you just feel like a badass. So again, it just feels awesome playing him. And then after that, you've got his armor move, which is actually a taunt. His taunt is an armor move that goes through anything: grabs, lows, mids, unblockables, except rage arts. Now you feel like an absolute badass popping this off. Even though you're taking like half health, you feel like a badass. Then you go to intimidation stance, and if they think they can low you out of that, guess what? That's a no-no. And that's what I really like about Negan, from a casual perspective. If you've watched The Walking Dead, you'll understand everything Negan has in his arsenal and the way he actually plays, as in, like, not in a competitive stance, but when you play him and you see his intros, and you see his outros, you see his taunts, you see his whistling, you understand everything that is happening, right? You understand this is the way the character Negan is, and when you're playing him, you're just like, yeah, this is Negan. So if you're a Walking Dead fan, I think you'll definitely like him in Tekken. He has a lot of flair, and he plays a lot of Tekken character as well. Now, the other type of casuals are people that are just into Tekken and thinking about picking up a new character. If you aren't a fan of The Walking Dead, then I suggest just look up Negan moments, because I'm not gonna lie, just that enough is actually pretty cool, because I'm not a big fan of The Walking Dead, but just seeing Negan moments, him being a badass, him being him, it's very enjoyable. But yeah, from a casual perspective, you have a lot of flair to have fun with. He's a fun ass character, and I say he's worth picking up for like offline gameplay with your buds. Really show off that flair you got there. Again, a great character, a lot of charisma, and I like the fact that we're keeping with the whole villain theme when it comes to guest characters like Geese or Akuma, Negan. You know what I mean? It really has a great feel to it. Again, let's go by his moves, they're actually pretty good. Using the bat, he fucking throws it around furiously and wildly, kind of sticking to a style of a brawler, so he plays a lot like Miguel, but he plays with a style of, well, he plays differently, even though he has the same type of themes as Miguel. So if you're a big fan of Miguel, you will like Negan's playstyle, and again, those two go hand in hand. I really do like his moves. I think he animates quite well. For example, like from the start when I was talking about when he was walking back and forward, he animates quite well with his bat. His intros and outros look nice, and the character model also looks good as well. If you want to customize him, you are limited, but you're not as limited as Noctis. You actually get a whole lot more fucking flair with Negan when it comes to customizing. Sure, you are limited because of contract rules, but you do have a lot more that you can mess around with. And Negan just looks amazing with pink hair and a rubber band and looking gay as fuck. Nah, I'm not even kidding when I say that. You can actually do that. You can actually make him look like the gayest redneck ever. And that's what I like about Negan. They give you more freedom with this character, unlike what they did with Noctis because of contract rules. Kinda insane with Square Enix, because they're pretty fucking contract heavy, but with AMC I guess we got away with The Walking Dead's Negan looking very funny in any type of costume you put him in. Now up next is the competitive stance of the character. I'll be going into that. Now, going into Negan as a competitive character. Now, Negan as a competitive character isn't strong. He isn't really that strong. A lot of people have been finding out after 5 days, and I'm surprised it's 5 days because usually it takes longer to find out where a character's placed after showing up as DLC. A lot of people are saying that he's very weak. Now, in a competitive stance, that means that you'll probably have to put in a lot more effort in playing into him, but I think he's got a very straightforward style, as in, like, you know what you're doing, you know what type of moves are effective. For example, you know back 2-2 is punishable, but it's good for counter hits, and you won't get punished that heavy. You know down 2 is -9, meaning you lose your turn. Again, a good counter hit chance to try out. You know Negan's actually got a decent throw mix-up game, and his stance is a very good fucking mix-up game, but he has no lows from his stance, and that's the thing that really makes him weak from that stance. Because if you're a character that doesn't have lows in their stance, it means that there's really no scare when you're going up against that stance. The only scary thing about that stance, I'd have to say, is the armor move that can launch big characters, which is 12 frames by the way, so it comes out really quickly. And the other thing is the grab, which is fairly slow, so you can react to it. However, if the grab connects and if it's at a wall, that is a full wall combo coming your way. So basically Negan, he isn't that strong with the mix-ups, but it's very easy to tell the way he plays. He's not a super straightforward character like Noctis or Katarina, but he definitely is very straightforward in playing, as in, like, you know what's a good launcher, you know what's a good combo, and if you're not sure about what to do for combos, then again you've got a bunch of guides out there everywhere on YouTube, basically a shit ton of people playing Negan, going over his combos. I think I did a combo video, but I don't think it'll help you going over the combos, so again, if you want to see a combo video, just check that out. But if you want to go to streams or videos that have better depth, I suggest looking around. But again, Negan, he has a lot of good wall carries, meaning that he's very good with combos, and he does a good bit of damage with his combos. He's a very counter heavy character, and the thing about counter hit characters, or characters that depend on the opponent, they don't usually do too well in the competitive scene, because anyone that relies on the reaction of your opponent, it doesn't work. Most counter characters do not work that way. However, Negan has his own pressures. For example, he has back 1+2, and this is the problem. Even though he does have good moves, like you'll get a good result out of the moves, they're fairly slow. For example, back 1+2, it is very good for pressure. You're in plus, I'd say about +5 or something like that. However, when doing it, it is slow. I'd say it's about like 18 frames, but as a counter hit launcher, it does a lot of damage, but it's really good. This is the move I'm using right now. That's back 1+2. Again, it's pretty good looking, however, it lacks in certain departments. He has other good moves. For example, his launcher is not that punishable, and it has slight pushback, down forward 2. Now this doesn't usually happen. Usually down forward 2 has hardly any pushback, meaning you can launch it with a hop kick or something like that. But it means that they'll probably get away with a quick 12 frame punish, or a punish that has a lot of range to it. For example, Kazuya's 4-4-2. So Negan is kind of lacking with that type of shit, and people are saying that he's lacking with range. In my opinion, only on a couple of moves like Wild Running 2 or his armor move, but besides that, range is not an issue for Negan in my opinion. And his armor moves are very good. For example, forward 1+2 is a solid armor move that combos. Now, that is actually pretty good. Not many armor moves combo in the game unless there is a wall, so Negan really does have a good amount of variety to him, if I can say that word right. His lows, again, are very weak. He's got a weak low game, but he has a really good pressure game. He has a lot of good strings that could be useful, but once the strings are red, then it's going to be a tough time if you rely on strings. Then that's when you open them up with lows. That's kind of what it's like with Negan. It's a matter of trying to open them up with something. That's the hard part. But once you've opened them up, it is an easy time. It is really an easy time playing Negan. But if you can't open them up, then you're going to have a very hard time on ranked. And I think I found out the hard way. For example, I've come across Negan mains that know how to open me up better, rather than me opening them up. They basically fucked the shit out of me. That's all I'm going to say. So I guess this is the final conclusion, and I have to say, for a casual standpoint, you will have fun with Negan. You'll have fun playing them with friends, you'll have fun with casual lobbies, and learning them will be a blast, because learning characters are always fun in Tekken, and learning Negan for me was most definitely fun. But for coming in from a competitive perspective, I would say he's half worth it if you're willing to put in the effort. Because I'd say he's ranked about B tier, but if you really do like that charisma and his playstyle, you will have fun. And you'll feel like a badass doing so, because you did it with a mid-tier character. So, you know, it feels good to win with these types of characters, unlike Ling Xiaoyu or fucking Noctis. But with Negan, it feels good to win. With King, it feels good to win. And with Kazuya, it feels good to win. So Negan is one of those characters of, you put in effort, and once you put in that effort and it all comes out nice, it feels good. However, if you put in that effort and it fails, it will definitely fucking suck in a competitive perspective. Playing him in ranked, I think he is very good with some matchups. For example, he's pretty good against Ling Xiaoyu, but against some matchups that could maybe outrange him or outpressure him, it is a tough time. But you'll have fun hearing him saying shit every time he gets beaten the shit out of. Like, genuinely, I love his lines. It's like he's getting hit all years. God damn! Shit! It is amazing. But yeah, again, Negan, competitive perspective, he's half worth it if you want to put in the effort. I want to go over some of his other pressure moves, and that is like 2-2. It's a 12 frame move, it's good for punishing. However, it is not good for plus frames. You think it would be, considering you bring the bat down. However, when you recover the bat, they get back up. And that's the other thing about Negan, he has no good knockdown moves. For example, he doesn't have a good knockdown low, but he does have good knockdown mids, and that's where the good thing comes in. Also, something I also found out, Noctis cannot show up in any animations where he's getting humiliated. That's why there's no corpse behind Negan, because he would have been humiliated. So, again, that just proves Noctis is a bitch. But yeah, Negan is good at pressuring, but it's tough, you'll have a tough time. However, he is straightforward to use, his buttons and inputs are not that hard to use. Some inputs could be hard, for example try to do rage drive right after running, but besides that, there'll be no issues with him. He feels good to play with on pad. I don't know about stick, that is something I definitely can't say. But I know if you get into Negan, you'll have fun with him. That I can guarantee. But if you do not get into Negan by your training stage or into your rank match stage, then I don't think you'll have fun with him, and I don't think you'll be worth it in that sense. This isn't like Armor King where it's like, just learn a couple of things and then that's you. Negan's fairly different because you need to kind of learn a lot when it comes to matchups. He's kind of like a Kazuya type where you need to know your fundamentals when it comes to pressuring. But he's more of a Miguel type where it's like you need to understand how to pressure hard with him. So Negan really has a lot going for him, but at the same time he doesn't have a lot going for him. That's like the fucked up thing. It's like, you know what you're doing, the sky's the limit. That's the way it is with Negan. But if you don't, it's gonna be tough. Some matchups will fuck you up, like Ling Xiaoyu. Oh wait, no, that matchup's easy. Maybe like King, he's pretty good at pressuring and he can outpoke most characters, so that is a matchup that might fuck you up. But again, you'll have a lot of fun with this character. I know I had. And I'm going to continue to do more matches with him in the future, that I can guarantee. But yeah, I want to talk about new rules on my streams. If I get salty, yes, that is cool, you guys can comment on that. However, if there are certain comments that I see during streams, I will be banning them. I'm not going to say which ones, because then it'll be easier for you guys to mess around with that. But just know I will be banning them if I see them. But yeah guys, this is the end of the video. I hope you guys did enjoy my opinion on Negan. If you did, leave a like, and in the comments tell me your opinion on Negan. Do you think he's a character that's really worth it, or do you think he's a character that really isn't worth it? But besides that, if you guys really enjoy the content, then subscribe to my channel. There's a lot more shit here that you can look at, maybe streams about Dragon Ball Fighters or whatnot. But yeah guys, I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya!